Okay. So, hey doctor, what's going on, buddy? Uh, let's see here. Okay, so everything looks good. Okay, I'm not used to. Hang on. Not used to having the camera this large, so I kind of. Oh, PogChamp. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me switch over. So, so SleepyBear is going to be joining us here shortly. I think Sleepy said 5 minutes. So we'll be waiting on them to get here. And in the meantime, hey Galaxy, what's going on, brother? How you doing? In the meantime, kind of talk about some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about, uh, or what we're going to be talking about. And if Sleepy wants to join us, awesome. But we're obviously going to get to the interview first, and then we'll go from there. But for any of you who are interested in Remnant, who come here for Remnant, seems to be more and more people these days, which is awesome. Uh, Two things to talk about. Number one is they just released the trailer for the upcoming DLC. It's going to be released August 20th, and it looks amazing. It looks really, really good. All new worlds, new bosses, um, and nothing. Um, yeah, nothing seems to be just an extension of worlds that they already have. It seems to be completely brand new. So I'm really, really excited. We'll see how much it costs, but I for if they're adding an extensive amount of work, I don't think honestly $20 for an expansion is too much, especially since they've lowered the game to about $30 now. So, because I think when it came out, it was 40 or 50. So we'll see. We'll see what the price is, but I'm gonna get it either way. So, hey Galaxy, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing? Finally diamond on tank and healer on Overwatch. PogChamp! Like, that's awesome. If we get some hype in chat for Galaxy, that's really, really good, buddy. Really, really good. Here. Yeah, and I'm sure they'll do a sale, like, because right now the DLC for it is Swamps of Corsus. I'm sure they'll do a sale for Corsus combined with um, the original game combined with um, uh, what's it called? Hang on, I think it's 2923 Ward 2923 is the name of the new DLC coming out. Wait, no, no, what happened? Let's see. Scroll down. I thought I bought the subscribe on your channel. Oh, don't worry about that, buddy. I'm just happy to have you back. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah. So no, it's subject 2923. So I had the for weirdly enough, I had the numbers right, um, but I didn't have the name right. Um, so yeah, so super excited about that, and of course, um, we'll be talking about that, and yeah, and again, I'm super excited. And I'm going to try to put out some. I don't know if any of you all do video editing, if you can show me how to do some stuff, but I really, really want to do these tutorials. I found another build that I want to try. I even put it in the remnant section of the Discord. But again, like I've told a lot of you all, and I'm not bragging, but I'm happy to be really good at a game, and I do feel I am really good at remnant. Most of these builds are for nightmare and below. they're not so normal difficulty, hard difficulty, nightmare. They're not. A lot of these builds are not built for APOC. So we don't know apocalypse. So we don't know these builds if they work on the highest level of difficulty. So getting a tutorial going, and last night's apocalypse run was super clean. Only got maybe one or two hiccups. I think Onslaught presented a couple of problems, and uh, we had a couple of goes with the Ravager, but honestly, I had never done that boss fight before in Apocalypse, so um, kind of figuring it out. Um, you know, gamble all. Oh, I don't have a gamble Galaxy. I guess I should get one at some point. Yawny points. Turn up the AC. Yeah, I probably should turn on the air conditioning at some point. But anyways, I digress. So Sleepy is in chat. I'm gonna bring Sleepy up. And Vixen, how's it going, buddy? Glad to see you. Quirky, of course. Always. Doctor, always. Um, so glad you all could make it. This will be PogChamp. We're gonna do our fourth episode of Yawny After Dark. Meet the streamer. And just to let you all know real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and mention this again, we are booked up till the middle of August. So, pretty freaking PogChamp. We have, after Sleepy, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 more interviews to go. And that's not including the people that said that they wanted to do it, and I haven't gotten them scheduled yet, because there's about 2 or 3 people that I still have to schedule. So we've almost got 20 interviews still left. So this will be awesome. And next week, we're going to be interviewing Audie, Penguin Cove. He's the mod for the chat. Very good, very dear friend. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, one of the people that heavily influenced me in getting started with streaming. And then on Saturday, we will be interviewing Adova Kitty. She is part of Team Lunatic. I do want to issue a correction. I didn't want to do it while I was in her stream, but Mushu had said that I was doing this with the Mushu clan, which is true. But these interviews are not limited to the Mushu clan. These interviews are to anybody that is a streamer. I usually like to get to know somebody a little bit. I don't want to make this to where, people come in, say, hey, I heard you do interviews. Can you go ahead and schedule me? I don't want to do that. I kind of want to know people a little bit first, at least hang out with them and chat or in their streams. But yeah, this is something that I'm going to be doing people from the Mushu clan, Team Lunatic, people that are not affiliated with either, but are affiliated with the Honor community, and or people I've met through people in the Honor community. So it's not simply limited to Mushu clan. So if somebody's under the impression that you can't do it because you're not a member of Mushu's team, please don't be under that impression, because you absolutely can. You just got to contact me and let me know about, what's going on with your schedule, and we'll try to get something set up. Real quick, are you going to get special layouts for stream for the podcast? Okay, so right now, as far as money is concerned, I know people see me giving gift subs and all that stuff, but there's also, like, I don't know, I'm a weird person. Like, giving, gifting subs is something that, like, I love doing, but like spending money on panels and stuff if I don't have to, I'm kind of lazy about. I wish I had a good answer for you. I really don't. But I can tell you this. Right now, um, Panda, who is with the Family Plays, he is writing a song for the podcast. So we're gonna have our own intro song for the podcast, complete with instruments and everything. And then I got new panels coming in for the stream overall. that are going to be for like the About Me section, and Lulu OW, her artist, is doing them. So we'll have a podcast song. We'll have new panels for the channel overall, and from there, uh, I really kind of want to work on the next thing I want to work on is doing, like I said, some videos and stuff like that for YouTube. Because I mean, like I said, I'm really good at this Remnant game, and and doing tutorial videos and all that stuff, especially because they keep putting out content and people keep taking interest in the game. I feel like I love the game. A lot of you all seem to like it. It feels like a niche which I can grow in. So I definitely want to pursue that. Anyways, without further ado, I've kept them waiting long enough. I'm going to bring Sleepy up into the channel. Um, Please, I want to start doing something now, by the way. I know that, we can't hear clapping, but with that being said, it would be awesome if you all could just, spam hype in chat, or hearts or anything, just so that Sleepy and future interviewees see that in the channel, kind of like a, I don't know, a Twitch applause type thing. I don't know, is there a Twitch applause? I feel like there is. I don't know. I don't want to bring in some copyrighted clap sound or something like that and get shut down. But anyways, all right. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring up Sleepy Bear and hey Arcarius, how's it going, buddy? And yeah, and here we go. Oh, hello.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Hi, it's going good. How are you?
Good. I'm gonna turn you up just a little bit. Can you go ahead and talk now? I should have done this beforehand, but sorry about that.
No, no worries. Hello?
Yeah, okay, there we go. I think that's better. Can
Okay.
everybody hear Sleepy? It's more important to hear Sleepy over me.
I can talk a little bit more. Hello?
There you go. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's really good. Okay. So everybody who has not had the pleasure to do so, let me go ahead and plug your stream actually real quick. Um I always let the guests do. Did I get that right? PogChamp. Okay, I did. Professional interviewer, by the way. Um, I always let the guest go ahead and introduce themselves. So take it away, Sleepy. Go ahead and tell us about
Oh,
yourself.
okay. Well, hi. I am Sleepy Bear, aka Sleepy, aka Sydney. I have a lot of different nicknames that I've been given, so I'm not opposed to any new ones. I've been streaming on Twitch for about a year and a couple months now, and I usually stream Overwatch, but I also do variety streams, and I'm also a singer, and I live at home with my parents, and yeah.
So wait, singer? I did not know that.
Yeah. I did theater for about like 13 years before I sort of quit, quote unquote, to become a streamer. And I did a lot of musical. So yeah.
Okay, so I had a train of thought, but now I have to stop that and ask you favorite musical.
Okay. Probably Into the Woods.
I have not heard of
And
that one.
I think it's probably the first musical that I ever saw. And so it always became like a dream to be in that show. Um, so yeah, that one definitely is near and dear to my heart. So it's a wonderful Stephen Sondheim musical, and it's brilliant. I suggest checking it out.
Okay, I am googling that right now. I'm gonna listen to the. Oh wait, they did a movie with it with Anna Kendrick.
Yes, they did.
Oh, well, what the heck, PogChamp? Oh, Brothers Grimm. Okay, all right. This is like right up my alley. I actually have the Brothers Grimm fairy tale book. If anybody wants to see how fairy tales were originally written, pick up that book and be severely disappointed in your childhood being destroyed because that's exactly what happens. All right. So since I said that, I have to, of course, reciprocate and give mine. Mine might be a little cliche, but it's also the first one I saw, and absolutely fell in love with it. Phantom of the Opera.
Oh yeah, Phantom's a really good one.
Every time Phantom comes to uh, the city into St. Louis, got it comes to the theater, got to go see it. It is one of my favorites. I have never missed a showing of it when it's come through, and
Really.
yeah, and it's just phenomenal. Again, for those of you who have not seen it, would definitely recommend checking it out. And they made a movie of that
Absolutely.
as well with Gerard Butler of all people,
Yeah.
who was the Phantom.
It's
Um,
not bad actually. It's
it,
not a
it
bad
it
movie.
really isn't. And there was one of the Tony Awards or something had Antonio Banderas singing.
Really?
Yes, Phantom of the Opera. He was
He
playing.
can sing?
Yes, apparently.
Really? I did
So
not know that.
yeah, and it's like it's actual singing. It's not like I don't mean to pick on him, but it's not like Johnny Depp singing where he kind of like
Or
talk sings.
yeah, right.
Um, but well, I did not know that. That is super awesome. So, what
Yeah.
made you transition from theater to streaming?
Well, I've always loved video games. I mean, I've been playing video games since I was a young kid. I started out on we had a Super Nintendo that I would play all the time with my sister. The stupid, the Lion King game, the Aladdin game, those really difficult, stupid games. Um, and then you know I kept gaming as I grew up, and I played Overwatch and I played Fortnite and I played all that stuff before becoming a streamer. And when I found out that about streaming, I'm really new to Twitch as well. Like before I started streaming, I had only known about Twitch for about a month or two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when I found out about it, I was like, oh, that could be cool. And then I was like, nah, I could never do that. And then my family was like, well, maybe you could do that. And I was like, okay, maybe I could do that. And so it was kind of like I had just dropped out of college um, after I realized, it wasn't really for me, and I was looking for something to do. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not just give it a try and see where it goes? And now I'm here.
Well, that's awesome that your parents support that. I know, um, from an artist standpoint, it's always difficult, because you never know if your parents, even the most caring, loving parents, when you start talking about going into the art field, it's usually with trepidation, a lot of
Yeah.
times because just I mean being honest, it's so volatile. I mean you don't
Yeah. It's
so
a difficult lifestyle to be an artist.
oh yeah, I mean what we were just talking about musicals. I mean what they come to a town or a city and I mean they're there for like 3 weeks and 6 7 days a week. They have understudies and stuff, but it's usually you're going on at least once a day, and
Yeah, right?
for several hours. And I mean, people, yeah, especially in musicals with voice constraints and stuff like that. I mean, people don't
Yeah, it's
realize.
it's exhausting.
Well, that's super awesome. So
Yeah.
your story's a little bit similar. We spoke with I don't remember if you were there or not last night, or if you had a chance to watch it, but we spoke with Spartan last night, Shady Spartans,
Yeah.
and he kind of said the same thing about coming to Twitch, and then within a short time span after coming, he decided to start streaming. Um, when you first started streaming, did you notice any similarities between you know uh, performance theater and streaming, being live, in front of a I was gonna say studio audience, but being
Right.
being live in front of people?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's what made streaming such a sort of easy transition for me. It is because it's very similar, like streaming is a form of entertainment, right? Like you're constantly, talking to people and entertaining people. And some people, they make it like a show, like Beaver recently talking about how that's not his real voice, he sort
Right.
of ups it up for the theatricality of it, you know. And so for me it was like it was very easy to transition to that because I've always sort of been that kind of uh sort of outgoing, and I've always been an outgoing and loud person. That's just kind of my personality.
Right.
So going into streaming, it was like it's the same thing, you know. I'm just talking and being myself and being as entertaining as I can be. So
You bring up an interesting point too. And I don't have the theater background that you have, but I have a writing background, and I kind of want to make a point to everybody in chat and anybody that has any um, hesitation about streaming going forward. You'd be surprised how many of you all the skills that you've learned, whether it was in the collegiate atmosphere, whether it was in high school, whether it was at a job you had, you'd be surprised how often those can translate to something like streaming.
oh yeah,
So just because you sit there and think to yourself, oh, well, I've done retail for the past 5 or 6 years. Okay, so you have to have on some levels you have to have communication skills to have
yeah,
kept
yeah.
doing that. So don't ever put aside that you weren't in the entertainment industry or that you get nervous speaking in front of a large audience or something like that, because I do too. I mean, I can't speak
Right.
for you, Sleepy, but I mean, sometimes I get nervous too.
Oh
So,
yeah, for sure.
um, but going with that, how do you think? Do you think streaming has also, if you were to say go back to college tomorrow, do you think streaming has also helped in your performance theater, vice versa?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think streaming has helped me become a more confident person. Um, because I think for me specifically, when I'm streaming, it's less it's less about putting on a performance of when I stream, I'm Sleepy Bear, and when I don't stream, I'm Sydney. It's like, no, like when I'm streaming, Sleepy Bear is me, and I
Right.
am Sleepy Bear, and it's just me being as myself as I can be. And because of the response that I got for just being myself, it made me realize that I am worth something as just who I am. And I think when I was in college, I didn't feel that way at all. I felt so small compared to the greatness that I was surrounded by. I mean, I went to a pretty I don't want to say prestigious, but sort of popular theater college. I went to Baldwin Wallace
Okay.
University in Berea, Ohio, and when I was in high school, a lot of the theater kids that I was friends with, that was one of the schools on their list. It's one of the more well-known. Um, it has a really, really well-developed musical theater program, as well as like just like a bachelor of arts in like acting and directing. So everyone that I was surrounded by was so passionate and so talented, and I just felt very small around them. And so I think if I decided I wanted to go back, I would feel bigger, than I did before. I would feel more closer to the same size because I've learned how to value myself as a person. And all that I got just through streaming.
I think that's awesome. I really, really do. And I think for a lot of people, that's one of the reasons that I'm such a big proponent of streaming. And I know that, like I said, people get nervous. There's trepidation, and somebody not going to like me or something like that. Which we're never going to please 100% of the people 100% of
Right.
the time. But I think that your story, it is inspirational, and I've also heard people that share that story and that streaming made them more confident in who they are, and so they got to carry that going forward.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
One of the life lessons that I would impart to everybody is that you always stand to learn something from doing something new. You really do. And so
Mm-hmm.
that there might be hesitation in trying something new, but I would encourage everybody, if you've thought of streaming, to give it a try.
Yeah,
And
just go for it.
your community, I know, as I point with the bunny gloves, boy, this looks really sick. Anyway, but I know that your community is absolutely wonderful, Arcarius. Um, hey, what's going on, Worf? How you doing, buddy? Um, Mushu's entire community, the Mushu clan, um, Spartan, Gasklin, uh, you know, Darko. They've all been absolutely wonderful. Their communities have been wonderful. I think that it is, if you're thinking about are thinking about streaming, I think that you absolutely should go through with it. What encouragement would you have to people that were thinking of streaming?
Um, I think I would say that sort of along the lines of what you said, it's absolutely worth it. And I think, um, anybody here who has, friends in, in the community or just has friends who likes to watch Twitch streamers, that's how I started. I started with my viewers being my, you know, one or two of my closest online friends and my mom or my sister
Okay.
because they stay at home all the time, and they always had the time to like leave it up on the TV or something, and eventually you'll pick up some stragglers along the way, or and so it it might not seem like it's worth it, and at the beginning it might be hard, and you might sort of feel down and be like, oh, I'm only streaming for one viewer or blah, blah, blah. But I don't remember who told me, but I think they said Emong, the Overwatch streamer, streamed for, I want to say, 10 people for like the first 2 years of streaming. And now he's streaming for 2,000 people. So no amount is too small. That one viewer, you know, that's still a viewer, and that's eventually that will grow, and you just have to believe in yourself and believe that what you're doing is worth it, and that you are going to reach someone else who might be like in a rough place, and all they want to do is watch somebody play video games because that is the way that they get out of their own head for a little while. So I guess that's a long way of saying it's worth it.
No, I agree with everything that you're saying. And I'll give the abridged version now because I'm sure I've said it 3 or 4 times, but I do remember I'm sure you all have heard her tell stories, but I was definitely a witness to Mushu starting out with 6 or 7 people and getting there now with 5 to 800, you know, viewers. So it's
Yeah,
definitely feasible, and those beginning viewers that are consistent coming to your stream, they're the foundation of your community. And so,
absolutely.
they become some of my closest friends. These people are my family. So welcome to the family, Sleepy. Um,
Thank you.
so I have to ask, what is it? I always kind of lead into this, but what is it about Overwatch and do you play competitive games in general, or is it just Overwatch? Or
um, well, Overwatch is not my first competitive game.
okay,
I think mm, I think one of my first online games was actually GoldenEye on the Wii, if I remember correctly. They had an online version,
you know
and I
what? We'll
remember
go with it.
playing
That's
that.
awesome.
I remember playing that as a kid, and I used to do like a 1v1 mode with my dad all the time. um, and so then after that, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool because you know, you get to shoot other people, and you can. It's just really cool. And then like I went on to like Far Cry. I think Far Cry 4 had a online mode as well. And but I think like my first like really big competitive was actually Fortnite. I played Fortnite before I played Overwatch. Um, and then I saw a friend of mine playing Overwatch, and he was like, "You should get this," and I was like, "Okay." And so I got it initially for the PS4 in order to play with a group of friends, and I really enjoyed it. Um, but then I had some like PC friends who wanted to play, and so one of my friends actually bought it for me on the PC. when I originally started playing with him, and I didn't play competitive, we just played like Mystery Heroes all the time, 24/7 Mystery Heroes, and it sucked sometimes, and it was great other times. That's how Mystery Heroes is. But it wasn't really until I started streaming Overwatch that I really started getting into the competitive scene. Because I'm not really like my personality wise, I'm not really a competitive person. Like, I think that's another reason why I sort of left the theater scene. Being in theater is very competitive. Auditions can be very competitive
Right.
and whatnot, and that's just not who I am. I'm like, I don't care. I mean, go ahead and hire me if you want. So Overwatch competitive is definitely the most intense competitive game I've ever played.
Oh wow, Sleepy gets solo shattered. I guess.
Yeah,
Sitting there, I
I'm
guess.
like, I mean, if that's what you think you need to do.
Oh, oh, oh. All right, we're definitely gonna have to play sometime. Sleepy.
Absolutely, I'm down anytime.
Ross, thank you so much for the host, buddy. Yeah, I to be honest with you, I share that similarity. I have played competitive games before,
Hmm.
but never at a constant level as Overwatch. I played some League of Legends, and I got fairly far in League, well, far for the average person, but it's not one of those things where I even would say that I put a whole lot of time into it. I think I usually averaged season in League is about a year, and I think I got to the point where I averaged 100 games a season. So,
Jeez.
that's like a game every 3 days, essentially, 3 or 4 days. So it's it you know, but yeah, then I got to Overwatch, and I could be a competitive person, but at the same time, I've become more relaxed in it. In 2020, Overwatch is basically Mystery Heroes and competitive,
Right, yeah.
especially if you play East Coast like we do. So,
Yes, yes.
so good luck to
Oh,
everybody.
thank you.
But yeah, I that's really interesting. What about games in terms of general? Because you mentioned starting with what essentially adventure games, platformers, all that. Now you're playing FPSs,
Hmm.
competitive games. What type of games do you really look for as even a theater major? I mean, are you really into story-driven games or?
Oh, that's interesting. I've never really thought of that, but yeah, I definitely do enjoy um, story-driven games. I think one of my favorite series is the Uncharted series, which is a
Yeah,
PS4 exclusive
right.
series. It's a really good gaming series, and it's not really open world, right? But it's so very story driven, and it's a really good story, right? And yeah, there's gunfighting and adventure and climbing and whatnot, but the story is I think what really drew me to the game. um and some other games that I've sort of grown attached to is Assassin's Creed games. I've played almost every single game, completely through multiple times.
Okay.
Um, and the story is not always great for all of them, but I think I sort of fell in love with the gameplay and the style of Assassin's Creed. I love the being sneaky, even though people like to shit on me and tell me that I'm really bad at being sneaky, which I that's not my fault. It's the way that the game is made. It makes it very difficult. But so the story is not great for every single game, but I still, because I love the game so much, and it's sort of probably my first series that I really became committed to. I always sort of gave it the benefit of the doubt. Um, but I think I love RPGs. I love Skyrim, Mass Effect. Um, so I don't really have like a specific storytelling is important to me, but it's not it's not a deal breaker. You know what I mean? I think
Okay.
like for a game like Skyrim, right? It has a very closed story, you know, like the main quest is kind of short. It's not the greatest story, but the game itself is so wide and has so many possibilities and so many things that you can do and build and create and so many people to kill and so many the houses to rob, and it's just like I love that stuff.
All right, everybody. We just found out what the priorities are in gaming. For
Yes, I like to be sneaky, I like to steal stuff, and I like to kill people.
is that your cheese wheel?
It's my sweet roll now, damn it.
So, uh, I yeah. I mean, I always pick the stealth archer in Skyrim, so I completely
Yeah.
understand. But I think I just got to tell this real quick. Skyrim's been out for a long time, so I'm sorry for anybody for spoiler alerts if you have not had the chance to play it. But the story of Skyrim is one of the funniest things ever. Uh, Skyrim, the story of Skyrim. Boy, I look like a drunk rabbit. Hang on one second. Let me adjust this. Okay.
Truck race.
So the story of Skyrim is that a bunch of wizards couldn't deal with this dragon god, so they basically said, "Screw it," and they sent him to the future to let the future deal with it. So the beginning scene of Skyrim is a very pissed off Alduin, voiced by the guy who does the voice for Mario, uh, coming through a time portal, not knowing where the frick he's at, and yeah, basically a bunch of time wizards couldn't deal with them, so they yeeted him through a portal. And
They're like, let the future
yeah,
deal
let
with
let the future deal with it. Yes. So Skyrim basically has the same plot as Waterworld. Um,
it.
so there you go. Congratulations. Um,
Damn it, spoiler alert.
yeah, spoiler alert. But it's interesting that yeah, you mention stories. So what games are coming out that you're really excited for?
Oh, I'm really excited for the new Horizon
Oh yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember exactly what it was titled, but I'm really excited for that one. Horizon Zero Dawn was an incredible game. Um, Definitely got my platinum trophy on PS4 for that one. Um, but so that game, I'm excited for The Last of Us 2. I haven't purchased it yet, but I really would like to play that. Oh, the new Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Hashtag ad, hashtag sponsor. Just kidding, I'm not, but that would be incredible. But I'm really excited for that game as well. I think that's the only ones that I know for sure that are coming out that I'm excited for. Um, yeah, those three specifically.
Yeah, I concur 100% on Horizon and
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us 2.
Oh, I saw there was like a new Ratchet and Clank game coming out. Ratchet and Clank is like my childhood, dude. I used to play those games on the PS2 and like with my dad and my sister, and we would all just like take turns playing and watching each other. And oh, yeah, so
I I
definitely that game.
I loved Ratchet and Clank, but I was just like there was Sega versus Nintendo. There was Ratchet
Hmm.
and Clank versus, do you know what the other duo at the time was?
Oh God, no, I don't.
Jack and Dexter.
Jack and Dexter.
um, so that was the game that I really really liked. And for some reason at the last one, all of a sudden I said Jack, it was Jax. At the last one, Jax started talking. I don't know, like he didn't talk for, two games, 2 seasons. He didn't talk, and then all of a sudden he did. Like I guess he had nothing to say at that point. But
Right.
yeah, Last of Us 2, I'm very excited for. It sucks because I'm sitting there thinking, do I want to go ahead and get all these games, or do I want to wait till the PS5 comes out and the
Right.
inevitable remastered versions come out? And
Right.
so I'm not entirely sure, but
Yeah, it's like, do I empty my pockets now or later?
yeah. So I have to ask, since one of my mods is in chat and they can use channel points to ask future podcast questions. What about horror games?
uh, you know, I wish I could play horror games, but I'm a big scaredy cat, dude. I can't. Do you know the original Thief games like
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thief? Okay, so you know in Thief Deadly Shadows how there was an orphanage
Mhm.
that you had to go in, and the enemies of the orphanage were basically these, like, I would describe them as like faceless, fingerless bags of sand that, like, in human body shape, that had cages on their heads and on their hands, and they would twitch uncontrollably as they walked around. And the scariest part was that the lights would freaking flicker when they were nearby. That shit scared the piss out of me as a kid, and I never beat the game when I was younger because I couldn't get past the freaking orphanage. And the only way I was able to beat it when I got older was I had to have a friend sit next to me while I played it and be like, "It's okay. They're just freaking computer game characters."
They
So
can't hurt you.
I can't hurt you, Sydney. I was like, I don't know, dude. They're freaking scary, man. So, and then, like, my next adventure with horror was I played Outlast, and
Okay.
I did not last very long. I
It's
think I made it to the basement where there's like the guy and you have to hide in these lockers. I couldn't do it. I was like, fuck this. I'm out. Just fuck you. I'm done. Fuck it. No. So, so yeah, no, horror games are great.
I thought you said at the end at first. I thought you said war games, like you're trying to switch this up. Like no, 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 no.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
war
war games, by the way.
Warframe is fantastic. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been a big fan of horror games.
Really.
The only reason I haven't played them on stream, and I know people are going to say that this is me using my community as a cop out, but I've had people in the past say, "Oh, you're playing a horror game, like I'm out. Like I'm not,
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
watch during this." So like, but I love them. And don't feel bad when I my first interaction with a haunted house. I had more exposure to haunted houses at first than I did um, any type of horror games. But I was about 2 or 3 years old, and we went into a haunted house. This was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It used to be called the, I don't know if it's still around anymore, but it's called the Mystery Mansion. And we went
Ooh, that's
there,
spooky.
and at the very beginning, the intro to it had a talking statue head and everything. And we went in, and the first thing that I did is I identified the exit signs. And I was just pointing and screaming to my mom, exit, exit, exit. You know,
I know where they are.
yeah, I know where they are. I have identified all the fire escape routes.
Yes,
Um,
I'm prepared now.
and the funny thing is that we ended up going back to that same place. And so I had the childhood visage in my head of this being this horrendous, terrifying experience. And we went there um, when I was about 12. And we go in. It was me and my stepbrother went by ourselves,
Oh
and
boy.
we get to the intro of the haunted house, and it's the same thing as before. It's the talking statue head, but this time it has got a paper note taped to it that says, "Please do not stick gum in the mouth of the statue's head." So immediately, no longer a scary experience because the whole thing was just littered with "Please do not touch." Please do not touch the objects in the haunted house. Apparently, people were touching and stealing stuff, and yeah, it was just yeah, it just completely
Like, oh, not scared anymore.
yeah, it went from Mystery Mansion to Night at the Museum really quickly. So, um,
Amazing.
but okay, I had to add. It's interesting that Outlast is like, I was like the quintessential streamer horror game. I don't know,
Yeah, so
like,
many people play it.
yeah, I see so many people playing it. That and I get well, I guess back before we ever came to Twitch, I guess there was Amnesia, Dark Descent.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't even watch. Okay, my family, my family, there's like we're kind of all gamers in just different ways. My sister and I play a lot of the same games. My sister doesn't do online. My mom is a big fan of like Dragon Age and Mass Effect. She likes those kinds of games. And my dad was always like shooting things on like the Wii or the PlayStation, whatever.
Okay.
But we used to do like family games. We played like the Sam and Max games together, which if you
Yes.
yes, you know
Point
those.
the
They're
the
like
the point and click.
yeah, the point and click. We played a lot of point and click games together. And they eventually were like, "Let's play Amnesia," and I was like, "Peace, I'm out. Later, guys." And so they played the Amnesia games and Scratches. I think was another horror game that they all
Hmm.
played together, and I always heard them screaming in the basement. I was like, "Nope, nope, 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 nope." So I like, woo! I cannot even like watch games like that.
Oh
But
no.
I have seen a couple people play other video games. Like the I watched Tilly on Halloween. She played a horror game, and it was actually really funny to watch because she
Hmm.
was so scared. And I was like, I think the fact that like somebody else is like scared and like laugh crying that made it easier to watch. But yes, I'm not a huge horror game fan, but I like horror movies.
Oh
I don't know
really?
why. I like horror movies, but I just can't. The games, I think it's because it's like you're there. I'm like, nope, I don't want to
Yeah.
control it.
I have a theory about why horror video games are scarier than horror movies, and I think it's because we can disconnect in the horror movie,
Yeah,
but we can't disconnect from the character because even if you say to yourself, "I'm not this character," you're
you're
still
still controlling
controlling.
them.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
the door doesn't in a horror movie you can kind of let go because the door is going to get opened whether you do anything or not.
right.
And in a video game, you have to consciously
Open the
yeah,
door.
make the
Yeah,
decision to
my,
open the door.
I think the thing that scares me the most is that in a video game you have the ability to turn around, and like that's like the one thing that I was whenever I was playing Outlast or any kind of horror related game, it was when you had to turn around. I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't fucking turn around. Like there's gotta be something behind me and I know it, but I have to turn around. Or like I played PT, which was the demo for a Silent Hill game on PS4 before it got shut down. And there's like a specific moment where the radio is like chattering, and there's all of like these like random words, and all of a sudden it's just like, don't turn around. And I was like, well, fuck, now I have to turn around. And then you turn around and you die. And I was like, oh, fuck. But like, it's just like that knowing that you can turn around at any time scares the shit out of me, dude.
Well, I remember my I guess my issue with with it. They told you not to. Yeah, they did tell you.
They did.
Um,
That's true. They did tell you not to turn around.
I think my issue with some of the horror games today is that they do rely a lot on the jump scares. Same as some of the horror movies. Like you have your
For sure.
uh, I I'm trying to think of a jump scare series that I don't know. Like some of the remakes, like they did a Friday the 13th remake, and then they did a
Hmm.
Halloween remake. And I'm not talking about the Halloween that came out with Jamie Lee Curtis here recently was actually really good. Um, but yeah, they implement I because true horror to me is something that you're gonna hate this. I'm sure. I'm sorry. It's something that not necessarily it's a jump scare, but it's something where afterwards you're like, I don't have to sleep with the lights on, but I'm gonna like,
I'm gonna
yeah,
right exactly
tonight the electricity bill goes up because
because fuck that.
yeah, because I just watched the Babadook and none of that shit. Um, but yeah, I for me the pivotal horror game moment I remember it. It was Fatal Frame 2. And in Fatal Frame, for those of you who've never played the games, don't know about them, you you use a what do they call it? Paranormal detecting camera to
Oh boy.
photograph ghosts. So you go into a room and there'll be a window shut or something like that, and you have to look through the camera to find the ghost. Well, there's one moment where you go into this room and you look through the camera like you've been doing, and there's nothing there. And you can't find any ghosts. You have an indicator that there's a ghost, but you can't find anything there. And all of a sudden, hair starts to come over the camera lens
What the
like
fuck?
in something out of The Grudge, and I'm just sitting there like, just hit that off button. Like, nope.
Right.
Like I have not,
Alt F4. Nope.
I have
Not
not,
today, Satan.
yeah, not today, Satan. I have not saved for an hour, but we will just go back at a later date. Um, that's absolutely awesome. I guess next I want to ask you about what got you involved with the stream team with the Mushu clan.
It's a lovely story.
Okay.
Actually, I first met Mushu from actually another streamer, Beef Tipsy, who I was a part of his community for about 9 months before I joined the Mushu clan, and it was on her birthday. It was when I met her actually because my best friend Amenti tagged her in Beef's Discord and said, "Happy birthday, Mushu." And so I was like, "Oh, gee, Mushu, it's your birthday. Happy birthday." And so I tagged her and said, "Happy birthday." And she did her like Mushu thing where she was like, "Thanks," and then sent the angry ping thing. And so then it just became a joke. I would just tag her like, every other day or something. And she would be like, angry ping. And then, I was like, well, whatever. I'll just go and like say hi and stream, and then I was like, okay, she's really cool. I gotta hang out more. um, and yeah, and so then I just started showing up to like every stream, and uh, and then I applied, and here we are.
So you came
Sort of a
from
simple story.
Beef Tipsy's
Yes.
community. Okay. And that's, I mean, that's one of the reasons I want to do stuff like this is this, we get to introduce people, happenstance you have these two growing bigger streamers, and it's still kind of almost a random happenstance to meet.
Yeah, yeah,
So I definitely want to do stuff like this to introduce awesome people like yourself to communities that might not have had the chance otherwise to meet them.
yeah.
So going forward, what are your goals? What are your plans with the stream?
Oh, dude, I wish I knew. I mean, definitely the stream sort of took off in a way that I didn't expect at all. And, you know, a few months ago, if you told me that I was going to be, where I am today, I'd be like, ha, lol, okay, sure. But now that I'm here, I'm like, ha, fuck.
Yeah.
This is crazy, you know? So I just recently, um, on my birthday, had a donation goal that we reached and surpassed by quite a bit
Awesome.
to purchase new parts for my computer so that I could provide a better streaming experience and gaming experience for myself and for my viewers. So now I have more than 100 frames when I play Overwatch, and my computer runs better and it doesn't get as hot, and so that was definitely a big deal for me. And so going forward, I'm sort of looking to uh, continue upgrading the computer here and there as I can. Um, doing more sort of special event type things. I, I used to do like a karaoke night
Okay.
every Friday night, but ever since the whole Twitch thing,
Right.
obviously Twitch Sings is allowed because it's Twitch Sings. Like they they wouldn't that wouldn't exist anymore if Twitch didn't have the rights for the music on there. So that has become sort of a more every now and then type thing, because there's only so many times you can sing the same 10 songs over and over again, you know? So looking into doing something different. I recently started doing an Assassin's Creed marathon.
Nice.
I'm on Assassin's Creed 3 right now. We finished all the ones beforehand. And it was sort of like a special event type thing that I started in honor of Assassin's Creed Valhalla being released this uh, holiday season. So probably sometime anywhere between like October to December of this year. So just things like that, and then I talked about doing like, oh, we could do other marathons, like I could do like a Mass Effect marathon or a Dragon Age marathon or like blah blah blah, all this other stuff, and getting a capture card so I can stream from the PS4 because I have a lot of games on there as well, and just sort of getting used to being a streamer. You know what I mean? Because like, even though I've been streaming for over a year, it still doesn't feel normal. You
Right.
know, like it still feels kind of crazy that I have this like community of people who want to hang out with me on, you know, sort of like a daily basis, and who um enjoy just being around me and being around other people in the community. And just, I think my ultimate goal is just to continue to make other people happy, and to, you know, continue growing the stream and continue providing a place where people feel safe, and where people feel like they can enjoy themselves, and even feel like they learn things every day. I'm a very um, LGBTQ friendly stream. I am very open about talking about mental health issues, about my own mental health issues, and about providing, you know, advice for people who are dealing with their own issues, and things like that. So I think just continuing to provide that sort of support, and like family oriented type place, you know, where people can be themselves.
Well, I
I think
think
that's my goal.
that is absolutely awesome. I think that that is both a wonderful direction, and those are absolutely wonderful goals. I have to ask
Thank you.
you, kind of as two ending notes. First, I want to ask you, favorite assassin from the Assassin's Creed series.
Oof. Ah, that's so. Uh. Okay, Ezio had the best story
I agree. I agree,
overall.
100%.
So Ezio is absolutely the best. My favorite to play as, though, would probably be Cassandra of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I love playing as Cassandra. Um, but yeah, Ezio is probably my favorite assassin. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is my all-time favorite Assassin's Creed game.
I yeah, I think that 100% agree. Ezio had the best story and the best. His story. I think more than any of them had the most satisfying conclusion.
Yeah, absolutely. It
So
actually had a conclusion.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Um, yeah, I would completely agree, and I do think as well that Odyssey is a wonderful game. Um,
yeah.
I had a ton of fun playing it. Unfortunately, got it, and I don't have a capture card, so I got it. Wasn't able to play it on stream, but I absolutely loved it. Except that boar boss can go straight to hell.
Yes,
That
dude. Oh
that
my
boar
god.
boss is the worst freaking thing.
For
That
no reason.
yeah, for no reason, no reason. It's like, yeah, it's the worst thing I have ever played in. I literally right now I'm doing runs on Remnant, which is intended to be a difficult game, and
Oh yeah, Remnant is hard as fuck.
I still hate that freaking boar boss. I
Yep.
hate that thing. Um,
Agreed.
yeah, I guess with last thing is, do you have any events, um, or hey James, I appreciate that, buddy. You too. Um, do you have any events uh coming up, or anything that you want to plug as far as charity events or anything?
actually don't have uh, anything planned um, at the moment. I've been thinking of things, brainstorming mostly. That would probably be in the not far but not near future, maybe the next couple of months or so. Um, but nothing really. I think right now I'm focusing on uh, just trying to keep a normal schedule and God, finishing this Assassin's Creed series because Assassin's Creed 3 is the most boring Assassin's Creed game, and that's the one that we're on right now. And I haven't played it in like a week and a half, and I'm like, I gotta blast through this series because I want to be able to play Valhalla when it comes out. So I think that's really the only thing is finishing up the Assassin's Creed series. Um, but aside from that, I don't know if I would have anything to plug.
Okay. Well, I guess that we will go ahead and end it there. For
Awesome.
everybody that is new to the stream, again, this is something that we are doing going forward almost every weekend, just about. And so, like I said, next week we're going to have Penguin Cove. We're going to have Adova Kitty. Penguin will be on Friday, and Adova Kitty will be on Saturday. And yeah, it's absolutely um, been a wonderful, wonderful interview once again. Thank you so much, Sleepy. You are absolutely awesome, and I appreciate you coming and doing this. Everybody, please follow Sleepy. Go ahead and plug one more time. Um,
Thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome
yeah,
being here.
they are absolutely awesome, and yeah, and I guess if there's nothing you would want to add, what I always do is going forward. Since you were the guest, is there anybody that you want to raid?
Oh goodness. I not anybody that I can think of is live right now. So
Okay. Well, if that is the case, let's see here. Um, okay, I think if it's all right with you, if you don't have anybody that you would want to, then I think um that we will go ahead and let me check real quick, see if they're still going. I think we're gonna go ahead and raid Crazy,
awesome.
doing a BLMA. I said A. Why did I add A to that? Black Lives Matter. There we go. It is not say the
Ah.
acronym. Charity stream, doing raising money for Color of Change, and Crazy is a super amazing, awesome dude. Hope he's not ending, but I can't hear it right now. So we are going to raid him. And again, Sleepy, thank you so much. You were absolutely awesome. Let me go ahead and type
Oh,
in
thank you.
the raid command. And this is the raid command for anybody that has the emotes. So again, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all for supporting the stream. More importantly, though, supporting people like Sleepy coming on and agreeing to do this because it's always definitely outside of somebody's comfort zone to come on and do an interview. I completely understand, but you all have been absolutely wonderful. If we can get one last round of hype and chat for Sleepy, I would sincerely appreciate it. And yeah, buddy, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome.
All right, with that note, we are going to go ahead and raid Crazy. Spam the emotes, drop a follow, stay in chat if you can, and I will see you all tomorrow. So love you all so much, and I will catch you all later. Bye, everybody. Thank you again so much for doing this.